Installing DVT Cloud CLI in Windows is not that difficult, but using it in VS Code with DVT Power User is a little bit tricky. Today we're going to see how we can do that. So we are here in the documentation page for DVT Cloud CLI, and we will just follow the instructions. Let's download the executable first from GitHub. So we will click on this link. And we will download the binary, which is in a zip file. We have downloaded this, so let's head back to our download folder. It's here. This is the downloaded file. We'll extract it. Now we have the executable file, which is in this folder. Okay, let's follow the instructions again. Extract the DVT executable file in the same folder as your DVT project. We can do this, or we can do a global install. So we will just do the global install instead of doing this. We'll head back to our folder. Copy this file. We'll go to our program files directory. And we'll create a folder. With any name you want. We'll paste the executable file here. Now we'll just copy this path and add it in the path environment variable. For the users. We'll just find it, double click on it, and we have added it actually. Now, since we have added it, to reflect that, we have to restart this VS Code. Yeah, so we'll come back to the VS Code a little bit later. Let's follow the other instructions first. We have to confirm if our installation is successful or not. So we will open a command prompt. And we will just execute dbt help. If we see this, the DVT Cloud CLI, then our installation is successful. We will close the command prompt and we will configure it now. So before we configure it, we have to have a DVT project cloned in our local system. We already have that, so that's what is opened in our VS Code. Now we will configure our DVT Cloud CLI. So we have clicked on that link, and the prerequisites says that we have to have a project in DVT Cloud because we are using DVT Cloud CLI and all the jobs will run through DVT Cloud. Okay, this is how we configure it. We will click on one of these links. When you click on this link, it will take us to this page and you'll have to download the configuration file from here. If you don't see this page, or if you see a login prompt, that means you have not clicked on the right link. So just try the other links from here. We'll download this configuration file and it is in our downloaded folder. Yes, it's here. We'll just copy it and we will have to put this in our .dbt folder in the user directory where our profiles.yaml file is present. So we will go to our user directory, so users, and then .dbt folder. We'll paste our DVT Cloud YAML file. Just a point to note here is that if you are using DVT Cloud CLI and do not want to use dbt-core, then you don't need profiles.yaml anymore. You can just go ahead with using DVT Cloud CLI only. All right. Since we will be using both side by side, we will need both. All right. Now that we have everything made, we just have to set one thing in our project, which is this. In the project, and in the dbt project YAML file, you have to mention the project we are using from our cloud environment, from our DVT cloud environment, which is this. This is the project ID. And that's it. Now we can use DVT Cloud CLI from here, from the terminal within VS Code. Now, before we can do that, we have to deactivate this Python environment. I'm using a Conda environment, and if we want to use DVT Cloud CLI, we cannot use the pip installed version of dbt-core. So dbt-core is installed in this Python environment. So I will just deactivate this environment. I have deactivated the base environment as well because that might also have the dbt-core installed in it. Okay, so now we are clean. Now we can try dbt cloud CLI. Let's check if we have the correct executable right now or not. So if we get the dbt cloud thing at the beginning, yes, that means we have our dbt cloud CLI setup now in the VS Code terminal as well. Now, if we run a model here, it is triggering the job is in DVT Cloud, as you see. We'll just wait for it to finish, and then we will see how we can use DVT core as well as DVT Power User alongside it. Okay, so our DVT Cloud CLI job triggering is successful, and the job also has completed now. Now, to use DVT core and DVT Power User, you have to reactivate the Conda environment or any Python environment that you are using. I have activated this DVT project environment because I have the DVT Snowflake pip library installed in it. Now, if I say DVT help, it should use the DVT core executable, not the DVT Cloud CLI executable. And we will confirm that by looking at the first line. We don't see any cloud related stuff, so we are good. It is using DVT core or DVT Snowflake Python library executable. Now, if I run the same job that I ran with DVT Cloud CLI, I should see something different. That is our usual DVT core logs. Yeah, so the job is not submitted to DVT Cloud. It is running in local. Yes, that's it. Now, if we want to use DVT Power User, we can do that. I mean, we should have our Python environment activated, and then we can just select one model and just click on the run button. It should run it without any issues. And it will use DVT core, not DVT Cloud CLI. DVT Cloud CLI and DVT Power User is not yet compatible. So no cloud CLI related thing in the log, and we are good. The model has been completed successfully. We have successfully used DVT Cloud CLI and DVT Power User in VS Code alongside.